What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first official video on the craziac page. So today we will be discussing the Hurricanes 7-game win streak, the opponents they faced, where that puts them in the playoffs, and just general things that have gone right, and then the few things that have gone wrong during the 7-game win streak. All right, roll the intro. All right, boys. So how are we feeling?
Feeling good.
I feel
I'm
pretty good.
It's been a good road for us.
Man, like, if you had taken, because right before the Four Nations break and then right after the Four Nations break, I believe at one point we had lost like 8 out of 10. Can you
And now
believe
we're almost winning 8 out of 10.
Can you believe the turnaround that we've gone on? We are 8 of 9, I believe, with the one loss being the Saturday night loss versus Edmonton at home.
Unfortunately, I was at that game too. The one time, but yeah, no, I went to the Lightning game too. That was fine.
Yeah,
that was a good game.
I went to the first game was Calgary, which we beat 2-1 in overtime from a Sebastian Aho game winner. That was a fun game. That was a fun game. Yep. I think Bryce went to that one too.
Yep.
Oh my God, funny story about that one. I don't think I told you guys this, but Bryce knows what I'm gonna say. So me and Cassidy went to that game, and I had bought tickets a couple days before for that one because I knew we were gonna be going. Well, the morning of, they released the college promo tickets that they release every so often. And the lower bowl ones were really cheap. And so I spent Sunday morning, like before church and at church, trying to find someone to buy my pair of tickets that I had bought 2 days prior so I could buy a pair of tickets in the lower bowl. Shout out to my boy Bryce down here.
Hey.
All right.
I got 2 tickets. You got to take a Buffalo Sabres fan to his first ever Hurricanes game. And from what I hear, he actually enjoyed it. So
he finally enjoyed seeing a win. So
yeah, his team doesn't win very much.
Yeah. We're trying to pull him over, but I don't know. We may get him, we may not.
Yeah. All right. So who wants to run us through the 7 games that we have won in a row and the opponents? I think Jack's got this one.
All right. So first game of our win streak started against homestand against the Flames. Won that one in overtime 2-1, as you said, with the Sebastian Aho game winner. Electric. Next we go on the road. We play the Red Wings. Not as crazy good of a game either. 2-1 win, fought it out, and yeah, it was all right. We go play at home against the Bruins. We should have won it 2-1 again, really, but let up a late goal, and then what should have been a Taylor Hall game winner ended up being a Seth Jarvis game winner with 18 seconds left. So, kudos to Jarvie. Good for him. And then we hit the trade deadline. So these 3 wins all by 1 goal. Like, it's like, okay, like nothing crazy, nothing flashy. We lose Rantanen. We ended up getting 2/3, 2 firsts, and of course, Logan Stankoven. And our Lord and Savior, Mark Jankowski, in his debut, 2 goals on 2 shots.
Ew.
And then Stankoven with the tip-in.
On the power play. Y'all don't understand how impressive that is for the run the Hurricanes are on right now, but that's a topic for a different video.
And of course, not only is it just it's not like it's anything good. It's like the San Jose Sharks, right? No, it's the Winnipeg Jets.
That's the game I went to that one too. That was electric. That game was one of the most fun games I've ever been to as a Hurricanes fan, outside of the Stadium Series game in 2023 and the playoff games I've been to. That might have been one of, if not the best regular season games I've been to.
The next game, another pretty dominant win against a good team. Hurricanes win 4-1 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Game I got to go to myself with a shorthanded goal we had what else we have in that game? We had a weird Martinook goal
Typical.
and some other like pretty solid goals against Andre Vasilevsky. So honestly, pretty solid. We move on and we play the Red Wings again. We just played them. We beat them 2-1, whatever. And we're playing Peter Mrazek, and
Newly
we win
acquired Peter
4-2.
Mrazek.
Yeah, he
Newly
got down the
acquired
line.
Peter Mrazek, wearing 43 because Alex Lyon has his number, unfortunately. So, great win though. And from what I saw, he just shut out the Vegas Golden Knights the other night. So, good game against a pretty solid goalie and a team that's desperate for a playoff spot
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets lost in
Um,
all this is the 2 games versus Detroit are 2 games that Detroit really needed a lot more than us.
Yes. And our most recent game, in absolutely dominating fashion, the Hurricanes win 5-0 on the road against the Flyers. And this isn't a game that the Flyers are like, oh, we had 3 shots. We didn't play that well. The Flyers played really tough. They played pretty solid on offense.
Some John Tortorella level hockey, man. It was great, but somebody was greater.
The 2 factors for me that were greater in this game were, besides not offensive, but defensive factors, of course, as usual, Jacob Slavin and Pyotr Kochetkov. What a game.
Hey, I just saw
He
this.
had
I saw
26
this
saves.
this morning. Kochetkov, I believe, is the 6th fastest active goalie to 10 career shutouts among all active players. And like, if you look at the other names on that list, he is on fire. I believe he's averaging like maybe 1 out of every 10 games for him is a shutout.
That's crazy.
That's nasty. That's crazy.
And we have on the podcast right now a ball hockey league goalie, and whenever we go shoot around, we have our goalie, Noah, down here. Noah, why don't you break down how the Hurricanes goaltending has been the last 7 games? I know you love to talk about that.
Well, I'm going to put it this way. The start of the season, I'm just going to go from the start of the season. We had obviously Freddie Anderson, who was elite level goaltender, who was just coming off of a really bad loss to New York sadly in the playoffs. I think he came out hot. He came out hot in the beginning of the season. He had one of the best save percentage I think we'll ever see out of him. And unfortunately, after about 4 games, he had gone down with an injury, and the Hurricanes had that goaltending question that popped up again for an extended period of months. I mean,
It's almost predictable at this point.
we had Chekhov, who is going to be our starter no matter what now, and then we had Spencer Martin in our AHL who had come up. He played decent. He did what we wanted him to do, I think. And then midway through that, we had gotten Tokarski, and Tokarski just was lights out for what we wanted him to do.
I was at his first game too, the Columbus win. I think he only let up 1 goal there. It's a great game.
Yeah, he was pretty good. And then we got to I think it was around January or December, January, around there, when Freddie came back, and Fredzilla was ready to come back, and he really showed himself. He proved himself, and he's still the elite level goaltender he is, besides all of his injuries. I'm not sure on both of their stats at the moment of him and Kochetkov, but I know that they are both right now super hot in the last 7 games. They have both been elite with obviously we've had a really good defense to back them up too, but they both have made the saves that they really needed to make, and they've kind of stolen games a little bit.
They have.
Especially Kochetkov. Kochetkov in that last game against Philly had stolen a couple goals from Philly. That game could have clearly have been like a 5-3 game easily if Kochetkov wasn't the goaltender in net.
And so I'm going to speak on the whole 3 thing.
Stats.
I'll speak on the 3 thing real quick. So I don't know if Bryce is getting to this, but I'm going to beat him to it if he is.
Oh no, I was just going to pull up their stats because I have them.
The Hurricanes during our 7-game win streak have allowed 2 goals or less in every single game. Now, that's impressive to do on its own when you have an Andre Vasilevsky who plays every single game for you in your season and just catches a hot streak. To have two goalies who are alternating every game, giving up 2 goals or less per game, and having probably, my guess would be, at least a 930 or better during that stretch at the same time is insane.
Hmm.
What you got, Bryce?
So Kochetkov, his numbers are he has 25 wins, 11 losses, and then 3 overtime wins. He's posting a 237 goals against average, a 908 save percentage with 2 shutouts. And then Fred Zilla is going 9 wins, 5 losses, and then 0 in overtime. 2.15 goals against average and a 912 save percentage with 1 shutout.
Freddie's only played 14 games. Are you serious?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What was his? What do we remember? What his numbers were in the beginning of the season when he got injured?
It was like
He
a,
had like a
he
nine.
had a
He had like a
941 at one point.
936 or something. He
I
had
saw
something
at one point it was a
incredible.
941.
That's what it was. It was a 941, and I saw that after I saw that he was only in 4 games. That is one of the best save percentages we've ever had.
That was like Igor back in what was it, 22 when he won the Vezina, like hands down the best goalie in the league.
I think so. It's something similar to that.
All right, so we're gonna bring this back up. So I'm gonna mention the level of competition we played on this 7-game win streak. I don't think is understood enough. So the first game is Calgary, who is a like borderline wild card team in the West, which makes them desperate for a win. They need the points. They're trying to catch Vancouver, I believe, if they have not already caught them. That is a game that we won 2-1 in overtime with Mikko Rantanen still on the team, which in hindsight caused way more problems than it solved. The next game, we go into Detroit, a team that is very, very, very in like trying to save their playoff hopes. Got the win there. Let's see. Next, we played the Bruins. Now, the Bruins game, I will say, is the one exception to this 7-game win streak. We were outplayed horrendously at home versus that Bruins team. Like, I don't know if y'all watched that game. That was a bad game. We were lucky to get 1 point out of that, much less 2.
I think that kind of, helped click everything back together and was like, we got to wake up.
But that was also the last game before the trade deadline. And
Mhm.
as we know now, it's not like Mikko Rantanen was eager to stay in Raleigh or even be in Raleigh in the first place. So
No, he shouldn't have even signed.
No.
He came and he left.
no, well, that's I mean, the whole Mikko Rantanen situation, I'm sure we'll cover in another video. I don't want to do that now, but that was kind of the game where you thought like, okay, this team's doing good and the goalies are kind of playing pretty good right now. Let's see what happens with this, and the next game is going to be really telling. And you follow that up with a 4-2 win. Really, it should have been a 4-0 win if Freddie didn't, kind of have a couple goofball moments at the end, giving up meatballs to the Jets players. A 4-0 win, really, what it should have been, against the best team in the entire league. Following that up with a 4-1 win against the Tampa Bay Lightning team that has clawed their way back from being almost out of the playoffs to firmly in the playoffs, who at one point, I think, were the hottest team in the league over a 12-game stretch. Then playing a Red Wings team that you had previously beaten already, who still needs the points even more now because they're falling farther and farther out of it, by 2. And then the one game against an opponent that you would not say is exactly the most like high caliber was Philly. Philly played a great game. They did not get their tails handed to them. They played good. They just got Kochekhoved.
The one thing that I found interesting about that game is I found myself saying, we're finally beating, and like, not just like, oh, okay, we won. We beat up on Philly. We beat up on a bad team. One thing that the Hurricanes haven't really done in a while, I mean, I think the last time was the game before the trade deadline against Utah. We haven't beat up on a team in a while.
The Four Nations break, but yeah.
No, yes, yeah.
All right. So the one last thing that we're gonna discuss here before we wrap it on up, the power play, boys. We are in trouble. The looks have been better since Stankoven and Jankowski have been there, and Rantanen's been gone. I believe we've scored 2 power play goals in 4 games. But as it stands right now, in the calendar year of 2025, we are currently, what did we say, 7 for 86? Well under
Yes.
well under 10%. Not good. Now, season-wise, we're like 18%, which is great. That shows how good we were with Marty Natchez at the start of the season. That has to change. The kill has been perfect. I'm pretty sure we have not given up a power play goal in those 7 games. The penalty kill has outscored the power play in those 7 games. That needs to change.
I think we've scored as many shorthanded goals as we scored power plays in
I
the
think you're right.
7-game win streak.
I think it's
Jarvie got the
I think it's
shorty.
2 and 2, if I'm not mistaken.
That's kind of crazy.
That's craziac. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was bad. As the resident drummer, I will fill in that. I'll fill in that little fill there. All right. So, you guys got any closing thoughts on this? How long does this go? How long does the win streak go?
Well, we have a 3-game road trip over in Cali. So we play San Jose, we play LA, and we play the Ducks.
That
I
should be
think
3
we can get
wins.
it done versus the Sharks
And the Ducks.
The one thing that I hate about the Ducks is that the Ducks are a bad team, but they've had our number the last few years.
They have. That's true. And they beat us on Eric Stahl night, which I still don't understand.
And LA is a good team as well. I think it'll be a fun game to watch. Maybe something like the one we saw, I think 2023. It was like the 5-4 game in
That
LA.
was awesome. And we made a comeback in that game, didn't we?
I think we did.
A third period comeback. That was when we were like reeling off comebacks like nobody's business. That was great. I loved that time.
That was
so much fun.
yeah, back games. But honestly, if we win all of those, we come home, we play the Preds, we play the Canadians, and we play the Islanders before we play a really good team in the Capitals.
So that would be
I could see this honestly
13?
going to 10, maybe.
That would be 13 if you capitalize on all those games. I don't want to say that I believe this is I think the Sharks we should handle them. That should be, but we do not. The Canes have not historically done well in California. So the LA Kings, I feel like, are the last game we have a chance in. All right, boys.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope this win streak continues as long as it can. The 13-game mark would be great. I'm pretty sure that would be a franchise record. We're probably closing in on the franchise record. So let's keep it up. It's great talking to you. Loved having the first little episode here. Make sure you guys all follow the socials down below. I'll have the link tree linked in the description. Leave a comment letting us know what you want us to talk about next. And yeah, stay crazy, y'all. Peace out.